Hello, and today I'm doing a photo critique on Steemit, and I'm pretty new to the Steemit platform. In case you don't know what Steemit is, it's a blogging platform where you actually get paid in cryptocurrency when you blog. And the way that you get paid is when other people like your posts, and you can also get paid for doing comments and liking other people's posts. So a like on Steemit is called an upvote. And you can also pay bots to like your posts or upvote your posts, which is what I've been doing here. And if you're lucky, you actually get more money out of the bot liking your post than you paid for the bot to like your post or upvote it. So I created this post. Actually, right now I only have 52 followers, and I created this post a few days ago where I offered to do a photo critique for people that posted comments with their pictures. So this is for everyone that would like to learn more about how to take good pictures. So I thought I'd share a little bit of my insights to that. And despite me only having 52 followers, I actually got 3 pictures posted here in the comments. And let's see. Here we go. These are the 3 pictures. This one. This is, I think his name's Bill. I hope your name is Bill. He was one of my first followers. So I'm going to start with his image. I said I was only going to select one, but since I only got 3 images posted, which isn't too bad, I'm going to quickly review the other 2 pictures as well. Anyway, let's start with Bill's post here. So, Bill posted these 2 images. And the first thing I can comment on is this comment here. So if you're a professional photographer, if you aspire to be a professional photographer or wants to look very professional, I would suggest that you don't post multiple versions of your image. I guess it's fine on Steemit if you don't have any ambitions to be professional, or if you're just showing different versions to friends or colleagues or asking for advice. But for client work, I would never post multiple versions of an image. I think that as a photographer, it's your duty to know what image is the best image. And I see a lot of wedding photographers that shower the client with different photos. I never do that. I don't do a lot of weddings, but I do a few. And when I do weddings, I pick out the best images for the client. I take away all the images that I personally don't think are really good images. And I only leave out the best images. And if there's variations of the same image, I can sit there and I can select and I can be undecisive on my own all that I want, but eventually I'm going to pick one out of those images. And it's going to be the best one as far as I can judge it. So that's a really good exercise to do. Now, which one of these images do I think is the best one? Which would I have picked? And let's talk about the meaning of this image. Actually, the image itself, I quite like it. You have a picture of this lady here that's standing and watching this beautiful scene, and you've captured a very nice moment. And I think she's got a camera as well. Maybe she's taking a photo, or maybe or something like that. So you picture someone taking a photo of a great scene. So that's good. And you have these great looking mountains here, misty mountains, and all these layers are fantastic. So which one of these two images do I like the best and why? First of all, I think that the focus of this image is the mountains and the layering of the mountains. And the girl here, for me, she could just be a silhouette. And on this image, you have created a lot of, you've tried to enhance the details of her, which I think is unnecessary. And also I can see halo effects around the girl. So I think you could have been more careful when doing that job. Zoomed in a bit more and worked the brush a little bit tighter there. It looks like she's got some kind of haloing around her. But I don't think that it's necessary to have all that detail in her, because this is about the landscape. So I would tone her down and make her black. And this is what you have done here, pretty much, except for the cap, maybe. But the cap is up in the white here, so that's fine. Also, one of my goals with all my photos that I do is that I want them to be able to hang on a wall. And I want them to last for a long time. I don't want to get tired of the image. And when you have very colorful sunsets, you tend to get bored with all the color, because it's almost like cheesy when you have too much color in your images. So I actually don't like this as much, because I don't think it will stand the test of time as much as this one. This one has a colder feel to it, which is fine, because you know she's dressed like it's pretty cold. This has a warmer feel to it, but I think with her being darkened, and I think the muted colors would stand the test of time much better. So I would really go for this image. And also you have a lot of details in the ground here, which I also think is unnecessary. I would actually darken the ground as much as possible to make that the silhouette as well. So on this image, I can pretty much see that you have, increased the saturation quite a bit, or the contrast, or something like that. And I think you might have overdone it slightly. It looks a little bit too processed for my liking. If you could be a little bit more careful when you do that, so we don't get these really, really dark mountains here. I mean, they are less dark here. They're much more mysterious and light looking, which I really like. So that's why I picked this image. So let's go into this image a little bit more closer. And one thing I would do, let me increase this a little bit. One thing I would do is that I would clean up the ground. So you have all this crap going on here and here. These dots, they are not, they're actually distracting you. They're taking these bright dots, they take away the attention from the rest of the image. So I would fix those. Here we have other ones, here you have some, and you have some here, and you have some light going on here, you have a dot here. So all of these I would fix. Now, what you've done with this image is that you have captured an emotion as seen through her. But there is another image here as well, I think. And that is if you didn't have the girl standing there. Then it would be almost free from human intervention, so to speak, and would just be the landscape. So what you can sometimes I do this, I play with different croppings of the image to see if there's other images inside the image. I'm not saying this is the best thing to do for this image because you had a thought with this image. I'm just saying that this is the technique that can be used quite often. So I think that we have an image here somewhere. And what I'm looking for when I'm cropping this is I don't like the shapes that go outside the image, the border of the image. So that you need to be really careful about that. So I'm going to bring this down so that I get dark all the way here. So I don't get any shapes going out of the image. And maybe I have a little shape here. I could maybe touch that up to get rid of that. And the corners of the image is also very important. So if I go like that, then this line that comes down here ends in this corner, which I think is pretty nice. And here you have a completely different photo within the same photo. So of course, if you thought about this when you were at the scene, you could have taken this shot as well. This would have made a very beautiful painting almost. Now with the girl on it, it's a memorable shot for her and for you, because maybe you shared this moment together. Or it could be an image for maybe some travel magazine or something like that. But as a painting, I would not have the girl in the image. I would probably go down like this. So, and also I would be very careful about the contrast of these mountains here. So you have really nice tones in the image, but I think that you can maybe clean out the colors a little bit, because if you look here, you have patches of purple, spots of purple. So if you could go in with the tools that allow you to modify only the purple, maybe you can create a nicer gradient, because this guy here is a little bit spotty and messy with all the colors that's come through, because you probably treated large portion of the image with the same tools. So be really careful about that. See if you can clean up the sky a little bit by changing the colors and maybe changing the hue of the different colors. So that's how I would approach this image. But like I said, it depends a lot on what you want. Now let's go to the other two images that was posted. I won't go through them as much, but I think that this was by far the best image posted. This image, I think that you have cropped it too much here. There is no space between the head and the end of the image, so it feels cramped. And also, unfortunately, you have this tree which is going outside the image. You haven't captured the entire tree. And this is something we don't want. We don't want things sticking in and out of the frame. We want the end of the frames to be clear somehow. So I don't think that's very good. And also here it seems like there could be more text going on here, and you've cut that off. So maybe if you wanted to, because this is like a portrait, you need to approach this guy like a portrait. So another thing that you could do is that maybe turn the camera on the other side, and because now you had a wide shot and you cropped it, but if you had turned the camera to the other side, you could have captured the entire statue, which I think would have been better. Also, this tree is also sticking out, and it's creating a lot of mess in the background. And you see all these bright spots here in the tree. They're creating distraction, and we don't want that type of distraction. So one way to get rid of that, of course, is turn the image black and white, because you don't have great colors in this image. You have the trees don't have great colors. The statue don't have great colors. The sky don't have great colors. So why make it a color photograph? Why not make it a black and white photograph and try to play with the contrasts? And also, Another thing you could have done is that you could have waited for even better lighting. So it's slightly harsh light. It could have been even better. What I do like about the image is that the shininess that comes through on his coat here. I do think that's pretty nice, but I think that could have been even better if you made it black and white. So try playing with black and white as well. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this image. One more thing. You could have maybe zoomed in on him like this and made a portrait if you didn't want to capture the entire statue. And you could have used a much wider aperture to blur the background. Because right now the background is sharp and it's very close to the statue. So you have a lot of conflicting information in the image there. So keep at it, keep trying. All right, we have a picture of a cat. So this cat is obviously enjoying itself in the sun or something like that. Again, I think that you cropped off the cat, so part of the cat is outside the frame, and we call this border patrol. We don't want things in the border. You also have an issue with this section here, which is sort of disturbing a little bit. And you have used a narrow aperture, giving you giving you a lot of depth of field. So maybe try to open the aperture to blur the background, because the background has nice tones in it, and it sort of makes the cat blend into the background. There's also some bad colors in the background, and I would try to work those out. Yeah, so you have green spots there in the background. So you can maybe clean up this image by fixing that. When you take photos of cats, you need to be on the level of the cat, and you're very close to the level of the cat here, so that's good. If you'd been standing up, you wouldn't have as good a shot of this cat as you have now. But so it's very much like taking photographs of children. You need to get to their level. But I would use a different aperture to blur the background. Otherwise, it's an okay shot. So that's all I had for this photo critique. I'm going to post a new one soon, and if you learned anything, please hit the like button. And if you're not on Steemit yet, please join on Steemit, create an account there, and I will post a link to my Steemit account down below. I don't only post photographic about photographing, about photography. I also post about music production and some other stuff that interests me. So if you join me on Steemit, you can read all these posts. But I'll post a link down below, and I'll see you around. Thanks, bye.